Welcome to the Talking Sports with Manny YouTube channel. This is Talking Commanders with Manny. The Commanders win, man. I'm excited. The Commanders are starting the year 2-0. Come back from behind, win down 18 points. I'm not going to lie to you guys. When it was 21-3, I checked out. Not only that, I was on my way to my niece's birthday party, and I'm like, you know what? I'm choosing a great day to not watch this game. Choosing a great day to not watch this game, and I am excited that we got this win. Timeout Sports, what's good, brother? I'm excited, man. It's time to get excited. But before we move further, I want to give you guys some numbers. I want to give you guys some interesting stats because this is some pretty interesting stuff, especially with where we've been, how we've started, and how we got to this point. So here are some interesting numbers. 35 points is the most points that the Commanders have scored since 2020. 18-point road comeback is the largest since 1990. 18-point comeback is the largest since 1990. And 2-0. This is the first time the Commanders have started 2-0 since 2011. So I ask you guys once again, how are you guys feeling after this win? I'm feeling great. Now, obviously, there were some things that happened in the game that wasn't positive, and I'm going to try to not talk about the not positive things. We still got to talk about them, but let's focus on the good things. Let's focus on the things that actually went well. So lots went well. Sam Howell had a great game. He had 299 yards passing. I wanted that extra yard just to have that first 300-yard game by Sam Howell, but 299 and a win, I'll take it. Sam Howell also had 2 touchdowns. One touchdown to Logan Thomas, which kind of changed the game around. We're going to talk about how the game got changed around, but that pass to Logan Thomas was great. Excellent ball placement on that. And then as well as a touchdown to Terry McLaurin, he fit that thing in between 3 defenders, and Terry was able to catch it. Terry came down with another spectacular catch. People say that Terry is a body catcher. I just say, look, I don't care if he's a body catcher or a hands catcher. Terry does what Terry does, and Terry's still big time for this team. Another thing that I loved about this game is that Sam Howell was able to spread the ball. We're going to get into more in-depth analysis. Timeout Sports says, I feel okay, not great. We got work to do. Dirty hit by Kareem Jackson pissed me off too. Absolutely. There are definitely things that pissed me off. Don't get me wrong. Being down 21-3, that pissed me off. Seeing Denzel Mims 2 catches for 114 yards, that pissed me off as well. That Hail Mary at the end to where Russell Wilson almost won this game, instead of batting the ball down, Benjamin St-Juste, and I believe it was Derek Forrest, let the ball go over their heads instead of trying to make that spectacular interception. To be honest, Emmanuel Forbes got real greedy. The smartest thing to do when a Hail Mary is thrown is to jump up and bat it down. That's the number one rule. He had one job to do, and it's to bat it down. Even when Cam Crow got his hands on it, he kind of tipped it back. You got to bat it down. If you can touch it, you can bat it down. If you can't touch it, then don't touch it. You tipping it up in the air and making it available for the receiver that caught it, that wasn't good. So those are some of the things that I didn't like. I also didn't like a few times when Sam Howell held the ball just a little bit too long. I believe Sam was sacked, 5 times? Timeout Sports says, man, that Hail Mary almost made me lose it. Absolutely, me too. But remember the last time we played Russell Wilson, I believe it was the same exact scenario, if I'm not mistaken. The last time we played Russell Wilson, I think it was Seattle, the last year in Seattle, it was the same kind of thing where we had the game won. Russell Wilson at the end of the game throws a touchdown and then misses the 2-point conversion. So, I've seen this story before from Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is still a great quarterback. I don't want to hear anything about Russell Wilson is losing it. Russell Wilson this, that. Russell Wilson is still him. He's still legit. So yeah, those are some of the things that I didn't like. Now let's go for the snaps, snap counts. Now the entire offensive line, we still need work to do. I mean, that offensive line still has work to do. Sadiq Charles, Nick Gates, those two guys played 100% of the snaps, including Sam Howell. And then Cosme played 99% of the snaps. I believe he got hurt and he was out for one play, if I'm not mistaken. Jahan Dotson outsnapped Terry McLaurin, but Terry McLaurin had better stats. It just tells you how the team feels about Jahan Dotson. Jahan Dotson played 85% of the snaps, and Terry McLaurin played 74%. Could it be injury? Could it be whatever the case may be? Obviously, Jahan Dotson is a big part of what we do. And I believe that next week, Jahan Dotson has a big week. He's going to score soon. Don't worry. For those of you guys who have him in fantasy and things of that nature, Jahan Dotson will be fine. Moving on along. Brian Robinson played 52% of the snaps, and Antonio Gibson played 48% of the snaps. But when you look at the workload, you'll see who's actually getting the workload. I told you guys, as soon as Antonio Gibson fumbled last week, I knew that his role was going to diminish. Even though that he's still out here and, he still got snaps, he didn't get the ball. We are limiting Antonio Gibson's touches. It might be by design, but I don't want Antonio Gibson with the ball in his hands a lot. Get him in space when he's catching the ball. I'm all for it. He almost broke one for a touchdown, actually. So Antonio Gibson had a good game in a limited capacity. Brian Robinson Jr., huge game. We're going to talk more about that. Then on the defensive side, you had Cody Barton, Benjamin St-Juste, Derek Forrest, Kendall Fuller all played 100% of the snaps. And then for the D tackles, Payne and Allen had 86 and 77 respectively. And then also Payne played 77% of the snaps. But the most interesting number, we all want to know, how many snaps did Chase Young play? Chase Young played 71% of the snaps. They say he was going to be on the snap count, but towards the end, when you needed him, he was out there and he wasn't coming off the field. So I love that he played 71% of the snaps. If that's a snap count, I'll take that all day. I'll take 71% of snap count for Chase Young. The defensive line played great. They played well. Shout out to my guy, Pedro Schmidt. You guys go follow him on YouTube. Great guy. Here are his game balls. He says game balls to Sam Howell, game balls to Chase Young, Terry McLaurin, Montez Sweat, Daron Payne, Brian Robinson Jr. He says, who else am I missing? And for me to answer his question, I believe that Benjamin St-Juste should get a game ball. Without Benjamin St-Juste, we possibly don't win. And even though I believe it was a penalty on St-Juste, they just didn't call it because it could have gone either way. It literally could have gone either way. But for the fact that Benjamin St-Juste was able to help seal that win, sign me up. I'm all in on that. Shout out to Benjamin St-Juste for helping us seal the win. Timeout Sports says we need to sign La'el Collins. I agree. We need help in the most desperate way. This offensive line is struggling. We need all the help that we can get. Dev says, yo, Dev, what's good, man? Appreciate you hopping on the stream. Hey, for those of you guys watching, please please share if you can. So, man, we talked about the big numbers for the Commanders in terms of things that we have not experienced or even seen since 1990 all the way to 2020, right? We've talked about potential game balls for the team. We've talked about the snap counts, right? Ron Rivera gets his 100th win. It was a great moment in the locker room from the owner giving the game ball to Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera gives a speech. And Ron Rivera also expressed some things today. Now, before I talk about what Ron Rivera said, before this escapes my mind, Cameron Cheeseman, man. Cameron Cheeseman, the team has brought in several long snappers to come in and try out and potentially compete with Cheeseman to where he might lose his job. We talked about the negatives of the game. One thing that I didn't like was going for a 59-yard field goal after missing a 49-yarder, right? That was insane to me. And then giving these guys a potential short field, you missed it, and they got a short field. So I didn't like that. Like I said, I was not going to focus too much on the negatives, but you still got to talk about it. So people said that, Cheeseman was snapping the ball pretty bad. He's a pretty bad snapper. I didn't too much focus on that, but there's word that he might get replaced, and that's an actual thing. That's a factual thing. They've brought in several guys this week. But back to Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera was talking about Chase Young and said, man, Chase Young was anxious to play. Chase Young was excited to play. And when he finally got out there, he played well, obviously, right? But also in the same token, he said that he saw some of the things that Chase did his rookie year. He has that kind of fire, that kind of passion. And all he really needs to work on is the communication with the defensive tackle, saying, hey, if you're going up, I'm going down. If you're going left, I'm going right. That kind of communication. But other than that, he loved what he saw out of Chase Young. He loved the fire. He loved the passion. And he loved what he was able to bring to the table. I'm going to play a quick little video of Benjamin St-Juste mic'd up when he called game, and then we will continue on with the rest of the show. Give me one moment to pull this up. Oops. Give me one moment. Let's go ahead and share the screen. And then we'll go ahead and get that soundbite. And then we'll keep it moving. But yeah, man. Awesome win for the Commanders. All right, here goes the video.
Boy, Sean Payton and Ron Rivera have been in some wild games over the years. How does this one end?
Play action. Steps up, throws towards the end zone, towards Cortland Sutton. Incomplete. Broken up by Benjamin St-Juste. No flags. Game over. Washington wins 35-33.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Good play. Over. Oh, game. Oh, game. He won it. He won it. He won it as bad as I wanted to. That's it. He won it as bad as I want it. It's a physical game. Go get that ball. I want it.
And that is Benjamin St-Juste. He said he called game. He called game. And that is the kind of passion and emotion that this team has been playing with, and they're going to continue to play with. So yeah, we're going to get into some of the analytical parts of the game. A game that started 23-3. Like I said, I was pissed off. And I'm going to kind of take you guys through the game story. It's something that I used to do a lot on the pods that I kind of got away from it. But I'm going to get back into the game story mode, because there's a story within the story and there's a game within the game, right? I don't know about you guys. I didn't get to start watching until the beginning of the third quarter. So I don't know how. Well, no. Sorry. Mid-second quarter was when I started watching. Those moments when it was 23-1, 23-3, like, I don't know what to tell y'all. Like, I know for a fact that I was mad. I said all kinds of stuff. I said all kinds of stuff, man. And look, I'm just glad that we were able to come out with the win. So here goes the game story. I'm going to kind of try to get through it rather fast because we have a lot to cover. So the game started with Denver kicking off the ball to the Commanders. It was a touchback, right? Then first and 10 at Washington's 25. Brian Robinson goes for 2 yards, and then Sam Howell throws to Jahan Dotson for -1 yard. So at this point, it's like, what are you thinking? Like, what's going on? What kind of game are we going to have? Then on 3rd and 9, a great throw by Sam Howell hitting Jahan Dotson for 18 yards to Washington's 44. We're moving the ball. Everything is well. 1st and 10 at the 44. You throw the ball up to Terry. He goes for 5 yards. Then you pass to Brian Robinson Jr. He goes for 21 yards. That was like the first big play outside of the Jahan Dotson play. So I'm glad that we were able to get big chunk plays. And I enjoyed every minute of seeing Brian Robinson catch a pass and then take it 21 yards. So that's what we've been seeing more of Brian Robinson this year, and it's going to continue. 1st and 10 at the Denver 30. I'm feeling good. We're moving the ball. Sam Howell incomplete pass to Jahan Dotson after hitting Bates for 5 yards on the play prior. It's now 3rd and 5 at the Denver 25. Sam Howell gets sacked. I lose my mind because there is no reason why he should be getting sacked here, right? Then guess what happens? We kick the field goal, 49-yard field goal, no good. Not only was it no good, it was wide right. I was mad. You drive the ball, you do so great to get into scoring territory, and you leave with no points. That made me mad. The very next drive for Denver, they started at the 39. They moved the ball to Jerry Jeudy, 11 yards. Then Javonte Williams left end for 15 yards. Now they're at Washington's 35. Life comes at you fast. You were in scoring position. Now Denver's in scoring position. Russell Wilson was sacked by James Smith-Williams. I was like, great. Then it was 2nd and 11. What do? They go 9 yards by Javonte Williams, tackled by Benjamin St-Juste and Cameron Curl. Shout out to Cameron Curl, man. He's been everywhere around the ball, making tackles, making timely plays. 3rd and 2. Russell Wilson. He ran the ball for 14 yards. And I'm like, man, this old man can still run? I was mad. Then here goes Denzel Mims for 8 yards. Or he ran for 8 yards, okay? Then here you go, young rookie McLaughlin. I think that's his name, McLaughlin. He scores a 5-yard touchdown. I'm like, man, okay, all right. You were thinking, who's going to score first for Denver? Nobody was thinking McLaughlin was going to score. He scores. Then the next drive was for the Commanders, touchback. Then Sam Howell throws a 9-yard pass to De'Ami Brown. I'm like, man, De'Ami Brown is getting involved. At this point, I'm still driving. I'm checking out like the game cast and things of that nature. Then I see Brian Robinson left end for 5 yards and De'Ami Brown again, 8 yards. I'm like, man, De'Ami Brown is getting involved. This is going to be a great day. Then Brian Robinson for 3 yards. Then penalty, right? Neutral zone and fracture, no play. 1st and 10 at midfield. Then Sam Howell, 5 yards to Terry McLaurin. Then an incompletion, left, incompletion, short left. Then 2nd and 10 at the Denver 40. Sam Howell throws the ball to the middle. Logan Thomas, 18 yards. I'm excited. I'm like, man, okay, Logan Thomas, man. All right, okay, let's go. Then guess what? Sam Howell gets sacked, minus 8 yards. I'm like, man, every time we do something good, something bad happens. I'm saying all kinds of stuff. I'm saying everything but a curse word, right? Then at Denver's 30, 2nd and 18, Jahan Dotson, 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 13, 3rd and long. These are situations that I don't want the Commanders to be in, right? Incompletion to Jahan Dotson. Then we're attempting a 44-yard field goal. And at this point, I'm like, man, I don't even know. I have no trust in Joey Slye. I don't know. We make the field goal. I'm happy for that at least. We come out with something. It's now 7-3. Then on the very next drive, after we kick off the ball into the end zone, Russell Wilson gets we get a penalty, roughing the passer. It just is what it is. It is what it is. Jamin Davis was aggressive, roughed the passer, and they moved the ball, they advanced. Now they're at Denver's 40, and Russell Wilson chunks up a 60-yard touchdown to Denzel Mims. I don't even know who to blame. They say busted coverage, they say busted play. Does it really matter? At the end of the day, it's 14-3. And at this point, I looked at my phone, I see the score. I am pissed off. We get the ball back. We go 3 and out. 3 and out. And that's one of the few times that Antonio Gibson got a carry. So 3 and out. Now we punt the ball back. These guys get the ball, right? At Denver's 10. Russell Wilson goes deep. He misses it. Javonte Williams runs the ball for 6 yards, right? Now they're moving the ball. Now they're at Denver 16, 3rd and 4. Mims, another deep connection, 53 yards. I'm like, you know what? This is getting out of hand. Denzel Mims had 2 catches for 114 yards. I'm like, man, at this point, I'm going crazy. I'm like, man, look, this cannot be happening. They continue to move the ball. Now it's 3rd and 8 at Washington's 29. Jerry Jeudy, 7 yards. It's 4th and 1 at Washington's 22. These guys want to destroy us at this very point. They go for it. They convert. Now it's 2nd and 6. And guess what happened? Russell Wilson hits Johnson for a 16-yard touchdown. Now they're up 23-3. I'm like, man, what is going on? We get the ball. I'm like, man, man, we got to, show up. We got to score. We go 3 and out. We go 3 and out. We give Denver back the ball. And I kid you not, this is where the game could have ended. Like right here, right now, you give Denver the ball. They're driving on us. They're driving, and then something happens. I'm going to break down what happened during that point. So Javonte Williams runs the ball 5 yards. Then Javonte runs again 7 yards penalty. Offensive holding. They go back, 2nd and 15. At this point, I'm excited because it's a Washington's 45. I'm praying that, look, at this point, all we can give up is a field goal. Like, I had no confidence in the defense, and then something happens. Jamin Davis goes for the sack. Russell Wilson fumbles the ball. We recover. Cody Barton recovers, and I'm like, it's in bounds, it's in bounds. I start screaming. I start yelling at the TV. I'm like, look, at this point, I'm locked in. I'm watching every single minute, right? I'm locked in. And, we start to drive a little bit. Sam Howell, 4-yard pass to Jahan Dotson. Offensive holding, we go back. 1st and 20. I'm like, every time we do something good, something bad happens. It's now 1st and 20 at Washington's 41. Sam Howell gets sacked, a face mask. Sorry, it was a face mask on the play after the sack. So 15-yard penalty. We move up. We're now at Denver's 35. I'm thinking we are the king of getting penalties. I mean, receiving penalties on our behalf. Like other teams have, if you watched last week, Cardinals had a plethora of penalties that set us up in positions to be successful and to score, right? So now Sam Howell passes the ball to Cole Turner, 9 yards. That was a great play. I enjoyed that. Brian Robinson for 2 yards. It's now 1st and 10 at the Denver 24. John Bates, 6-yard pass, catch. Curtis Samuel, he runs the ball for 13 yards. It is now 1st and goal at the Denver 5. At this point, I'm like, man, we got to score. At this point, I have not been impressed with our red zone offense. I'm like, man, we got to score. We don't need field goals at this point. We go for it on 2nd down. We pass it, incomplete. 3rd down, Logan Thomas, incomplete. 4th down, I'm like, we got to go for it. We're running out of time. It's almost about to be halftime. We got to do something. Throw the ball to Logan Thomas, high point. He catches the ball. He comes down. He gets hit in the head. I mean, a vicious hit, right? And then once he scored that touchdown, Logan is fine. Logan is fine. Concussion protocol, obviously. Then we go for the 2-point conversion, which at first I didn't understand, but then I kind of understood later. So we grab that. Brian Robinson runs it in. It is now 21-11. Off of that one fumble. See, takeaways have to be how the Commanders win a lot of games this year. In the plus minus turnover ratio, like where are we? If we are in a plus, we played mistake-free football in terms of no turnovers, and then we got 2 takeaways. These are recipes of success. These are the things that helped a team like the Giants win last year. Giants weren't great. They got turnovers. They got takeaways. So not only that, we're doing all of that and more. So we force these guys into a 3 and out, which was great. We get the ball back with 1:20 left. And I'm like, man, how do we respond? What happens? So Sam Howell, incomplete deep. Then he goes to Curtis Samuel for 14 yards. Then it's 1st and 10 at the Washington 37. He goes short middle to Curtis Samuel once again. Then Howell scrambles for 19 yards. Penalty, offensive holding. That comes back. I'm telling you guys, I'm sick and tired of the way this offensive line is playing sometimes. Now it's 2nd and 16 at Washington 31. We throw the ball 3 yards. We do not get it. It's now 3rd and 13. At this point, I don't really know. I don't know what could happen, but we throw the ball deep to Bates for 35 yards. Plus the penalty. We decline the penalty. It's now 1st and 10 at Denver's 31. We don't do anything there at that point, and we kick another field goal, 49-yard field goal. The hold is good. The snap is good. Boom. Just like that, it is 21-14. At this point, I'm like, man, I'm in. At this point, I'm lying. I'm like, man, I believed in the Commanders the whole time. I'm lying, man. I'm lying. But hey, at the same time, being a fan, we've seen this story before. You go through all the emotions, right? So now, end of the 2nd quarter, halftime, we get the ball. Denver gets the ball. We kick it to them, touchback. They go 3 and out, which is great, right? Then we get the ball back at Washington's 43. Brian Robinson for 5 yards. Then there's a penalty, false start on Gates. Then the 2nd and 10 at Washington's 43, incomplete to Bates. Then 3rd and 10 at Washington's 43. What do we do here? Defensive holding, 5 yards. Boom. We get the first down. 1st and 10 at the 41. Brian Robinson runs for 11 yards there. Now it's 1st and 10 at the Denver's 30. And this is where the magic happens. This is where, to me, another turning point in the game. Sam Howell just drops back and throws a strike in between 3 people. You guys got to go back and look at that throw in slow motion if you can. He put the ball to where only Terry can catch it. He high pointed it. Terry goes up, snatches it out the air, comes down, touchdown. I can even believe he caught the ball, because if you watch the game, you realize like the sun was there and everything was going on. Then they threw it. I'm like, touchdown, but I didn't even see it yet. When I saw it, I was like, wow, what a magnificent play. We score. It's 21-21. I'm excited. What a comeback, right? But the job is still not finished. Denver gets the ball. They're moving the ball. Javonte Williams runs for 2 yards. Then Russell scrambles, gets a first down. Now they're at Denver's 36. Then incompletion in the next play. Then on a 3rd and 10, Russell Wilson tries to throw the ball to Cortland Sutton. Intercepted by Emmanuel Forbes, the ball-hawking corner, playmaker. Everything you want to say about Emmanuel Forbes up until the game, up until that point. Now you're seeing, you're like, man, this guy is as legit as it comes. But guess what? We didn't really do much with that possession. We ran the ball 13 yards by Brian Robinson, ran another 2 yards. It was 2nd and 8, 3rd and 3. Sam Howell is sacked. And then now it's 4th and 20 at Denver's 41. Instead of punting the ball, you have Tress Way, an unbelievable weapon in Tress Way. Punt the ball, pin these guys at the 1 yard line. We have all of the momentum. We'll pin them inside the 10, pin them inside the 20 at least. You go for the field goal. You go for a 59-yard field goal. Somebody tell me, what was Ron Rivera thinking right there? At this point, I'm just so pissed, right? Denver gets the ball back and great field position at the 49-yard line. And these guys literally could have gone all the way and scored a touchdown, but they did. Okay? They moved the ball, biggest play, Russell Wilson to Cortland Sutton for 13 yards. Then they got another 9-yarder by P-Ron running the ball. Then another 4 yards. Now they're at the Washington 18-yard line. You know, P-Ron goes off again, 4 yards. Then Russell is sacked by Chase Young. Mama, there goes that man. Making a big play, because I'm telling you, if he doesn't get to Chase Young here, if Chase Young doesn't get to Russell Wilson here, man, it could be bad. It could be bad. It could be potential touchdown for these boys. So we sacked them there. They kicked the field goal, and it's 24-21. Denver has the lead once again. We get the ball back. Now we have to fight for our lives. We have to show, like, hey, we deserve to win this game. At this point, the game can swing either way. We're down again, and it's like, what are the emotions? Like, just look at Sam Howell. Every single time something bad happens, the guy is always cool and calm, and he just does his job. So we start this drive at the Washington 25, incompletion to Washington. But not only that, offensive pass interference. So now we go backwards. Whew, man, it is 1st and 20 at the Washington 15. I'm losing hope. They throw the ball to Terry McLaurin for 5 yards. It's now 2nd and 15 at Washington's 20. Penalty, defensive pass interference. Thank God for that. It's now 1st and 10 at Washington's 27-yard line. Brian Robinson takes off for 27 yards. So you're seeing big plays out of Brian Robinson all the way to Denver's 46. Then he runs again and loses 4 yards. End of the third quarter, we're now entering the fourth, right? This is where it gets kind of wild. Sam Howell passes the ball to Gibson. And he ran from the 50-yard line to Denver's 14 for 36 yards. Look, I promise you guys, I swore that Gibson was going to run it in all the way for a touchdown. Those are the times where you use Gibson like this. This is where you can use Gibson, similar to a Curtis Samuel, in those situations only, okay? Then Sam Howell short pass to Cole Turner for 12 yards. That was a beautiful play, followed up by a Brian Robinson touchdown when it was 1st and goal from Denver's 2nd. We take the lead. It's 28-24. At this point, I'm excited. I haven't seen this many points in a long time. We give the ball to Denver. They don't go 3 and out. Yes, they do go 3 and out. They go 3 plays, 3 and out. They punt the ball back to us, and then we get another drive. Okay, Sam Howell scrambles for 2 yards. Then Brian Robinson, no gain. 3rd and 8 from Washington's 38. Sam Howell is sacked, but there's a penalty. Look, Fabian Monroe, thank you. You saved us because Fabian Monroe saved the day by having that penalty on us, because that was a sack. That was a legit sack. Over. You put the ball back. But this drive continues to go off of this key play. Brian Robinson, 2 yards, 2nd and 8 from Washington's 45. Sam Howell short pass to Brian Robinson for 21 yards. This guy caught the ball, and he looked like Adrian Peterson, running high with the ball, knocking out anybody who gets in his way. And this was the Brian Robinson Jr. that we all knew that we can get, and I'm glad that we're getting that Brian Robinson Jr. now. Sam Howell short pass to Brian Pringle, 4 yards. Gibson ran the ball for 7 yards there. It's now 1st and 10 at Denver's 23. Sam Howell short pass to De'Ami Brown. Again, De'Ami Brown, 3 key receptions, man. I'm proud of this guy. Then Brian Robinson runs for 15 yards. So we see Brian Robinson getting big chunks of yards, big chunks of 15 yards or more. I believe he did it 4 or 5 times this game. Amazing. Denver gets the ball back. We hold these guys to a field goal. They go 15 plays, 61 yards and a field goal, right? They go for the onside kick. Jahan Dotson, being the hands guy, man, he should have had it, but we ended up recovering the ball anyways. We get the ball back after Denver's field goal, score being 35-27. We go 3 and out. We give them the ball back, and we're thinking, oh, man, Denver has the ball at the 13-yard line is over. I'm like, no, Russell Wilson is him. Even with a false start, 1st and 15 at Denver's 8, these guys were able to march all the way down and not just methodically move the ball. They got lucky on the last play of this Hail Mary where they throw the ball. Benjamin St. Juste, no, sorry, not Benjamin St. Juste. It was Emmanuel Forbes. I believe it was Derek Forrest. Instead of batting it down, it goes up over their hands. Cameron Crowe tips it. These guys get the touchdown, and I am going crazy. I'm like, I cannot believe this just happened. They go for the 2-point conversion. I believe that Benjamin St. Juste, that was a flag on him, but they didn't call it. He ends the game. He calls game. We already saw that video, and the Commanders win this game. Crazy game, bunch of emotions. You guys can tell that I was happy, I was sad, I was mad, I was angry. All the emotions in one. But at the end of the day, the reason why I don't focus on a lot of the negatives is because we won. A win is a win. Being 2-0 for the first time since forever feels good. Sam Howell, 299 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was sacked 4 times. We have to limit how many times Sam Howell is getting sacked, because if he keeps getting sacked like this, he might not last long in the NFL. And I want this guy to have a long career with the Commanders. He had a career high just about in every single category. Most passing yards ever. I mean, 3rd career start. 2 passing touchdowns. So Sam Howell was unbelievable. He was great. Brian Robinson, 18 carries, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a long of 27. Not only that, he also caught 2 passes for 42 yards with a long of 21. That was amazing in itself, and a 2-point conversion. So really, Brian Robinson, he was the offense today. Terry McLaurin had that amazing catch, 5 catches for 54 yards and a touchdown. John Bates, big time, 3 catches, 46 yards. Antonio Gibson, 3 for 44. De'Ami Brown, 3 for 25. Logan Thomas pitched in with 2 catches, 22 yards, and that big touchdown that kind of changed the tone of this game. Jahan Dotson didn't get as much love, 3 for 22, but hey, it doesn't matter. Sam Howell's going to hit whoever that's open. Cole Turner had 2 big catches, 2 for 21. Curtis Samuel, 3 for 19. These guys are going to rotate each and every game. You don't know who's going to have the big game. What matters most is that we're getting wins, and Sam Howell is hitting guys when he's supposed to. So excellent there. Although that Sam Howell did fumble, he did not lose a fumble. So overall, we didn't lose a fumble. We didn't throw an interception. So that's a celebration in itself. Cody Barton led the team with 10 tackles. Cameron Crowe had 9 tackles. Not only that, the Commanders sacked these guys 7 times, and I loved it. Chase Young, 1.5 sacks. Montez Sweat, 1.5 sacks. Deron Payne, 1 sack. Jamin Davis, 1 sack and a forced fumble. We have Casey Toohill, a sack. James Smith-Williams, a sack. I mean, it was great. We got after these guys. I mean, we had tackles for losses out of this world. I mean, Emmanuel Forbes with the big interception. Overall, pretty good team win. We want to see more improvement out of the special teams. We want to see more improvement out of the offensive line. But overall, we won. A win is a win. Victory Monday. The Commanders come back from 18 to take this win. And not only that, we are 2-0 for the first time in a long time. We got Buffalo coming to FedEx, man. And I'm telling you guys, I'm excited about that game. I can't wait to preview that game. I'm not saying that we're gonna destroy them or this or that. Bring on Buffalo. I want to see where this Commanders team is, because I told you guys we're going from Joshua Dobbs to Russell Wilson, from Russell Wilson to Josh Allen. There is levels to this, and I want to see the progression of this team. I want to see, is this defense literally really legit? We've seen Josh Allen struggle week 1. Why can't he struggle in week 3? But at the end of the day, you got to enjoy this win. A win is a win. Shout out to all the Commanders fans who have supported and that are going to the game. The new energy with the owner. This is a good time right now. This is a good time, and we potentially have our franchise quarterback in Sam Howell. Let's support him. Let's rally around this team, and let's continue to stack wins. Love you guys. I'm going to catch you guys on that next episode. This is Talking Commanders with Manny. Please like, please subscribe, and please share. And also, please be sure to show love to the Talking Sports with Manny YouTube channel. Be sure to check me out on Apple, Talking Commanders with Manny. This pod is also there. I'm going to catch you guys on that next one, man. I'm out. Peace. Hail to the Commanders.